Right, well, it's definitely coming towards the end of the season for most of the heat-loving plants. You can see my pumpkins have gone over. There's a blighted tomato that I've completely forgotten about, which is bizarre because the one next to it is completely untouched. So yeah, I've taken the three fruits off. Oh, so I've taken the three fruits. Looks like I have a fourth. A little one down there that I didn't realise I'd got. That's what happens when the foliage dies back. You start to see what you've got underneath. I'll show you a picture of these four in a moment, in the boot of the car. Right, well, we've had a lot of rain. My God, the celery's benefited from it. Look at that lot. I shall take a few bunches here. I'm going to pressure can this, ready for winter soups and stews, just to make it easier in terms of preparation. Maybe I'll show you some pictures of the cans, the jars when I've done it. As you can see, the cucumbers have finally sort of died off. I'll take the last of the fruit and I'll rip these out in a minute. I've had so many. I've had hundreds and hundreds, tens of kilos, if not getting close to 100 kilos. I would have thought of cucumbers of two plants. That's all that is. Two Piccolo di Parigi cucumbers this year. The other cucurbits, amazingly, it's still got courgette babies on it. It's bizarre. I've still got tons and tons of melons and courgettes at home, but these are definitely slowing down, coming to the end of their run now. So I'll probably take what they've got here and take those back. I'll freeze some. I don't think I need to can anymore. I've got quite a lot of pressure cans, so but yeah, I'll take some. Most of the tomatoes that are still on the vines are just starting to blush now. Every time I come down, if I've got a blighted one, I just snip it off and add it to the pile. Otherwise, I'm not bothering anymore. I'll show you what the potatoes look like. I'm not too pleased. Here we are, a harvest of pumpkins. Not the biggest ones I've ever grown by a country mile. These are really tiddlers, but given the lack of heat, which is what's really driven it, we've had plenty of rain, but lack of heat, I'm not really surprised. These will go in the house to cure off for a couple of weeks. Wait for the ends of these cut stems to dry off a bit. That's why I leave long stems, to allow them to dry back a bit, because basically once that drying gets to the top of the fruit, it will go in and that'll be it. It'll be no longer any good. So yeah, okay, next year's another year. When we're carving these for Halloween and eating the contents thereafter, I'll be saving seeds and we'll plant them all over again. Okay, and here's the first bed of the Charlottes. These were planted on the 4th of July, I think. So yeah, that's 10 weeks. The very bare minimum for a first early, never mind a second early. Blight has completely got them. This is the point where later, in a few minutes, I'm gonna cut all these off. I'll bring you back and show you what the bed looks like after I've cut the hulms off. I'll leave it for a week or 10 days and then I'll lift the tubers. They're going to be tiny. I'm not going to get a huge harvest. It's just been a very early year for blight all round. If I show you some of the other beds, this one here, planted fractionally after that one, taken a hit, nothing like as bad as the first bed, so that one I'll leave to stand for another week maybe. This one seems to be a bit of a half and half. So we've got some serious lower growth dropping off, but I've seen a number of broken stalks. I think we've had a fox in there playing that hasn't helped. Again, I'll leave this for another week or so. And on this side, however, these couple of rows that I planted were Sarpomira. They don't really have any blight, and if they do have it, it's not really affected anything at all. So they will stay in as long as I can leave them in, basically until the frost kills them off. Whereas these are Charlottes and second earlies. These are not blight resistant varieties, whereas Sarpo is a very blight resistant variety. I'll bring you back when I get to the other end to show you the other ones. And these are the ones in the tubs. Very odd looking. It's almost like they look like they've come to the end of the season, particularly in here, but that's clearly blight. Again, I'll try and give these a few more days, maybe another week, before I cut them to the ground. I'll lift them and see what we get. Yeah. Right, in the polytunnel we've still got plenty of green fruits, however, we do have blight. Quite extensive in some cases, but we'll see what ripens. We've still got a few weeks before the sun gives out. There's another harvest, probably about a kilo there. However, what was interesting to me is that I thought melons had long since died. We harvested everything that hadn't rotted, but we've got fruits, new flush coming in, so maybe they'll ripen in time. We've only got a few weeks left, maybe they won't. We'll have to wait and see, frankly. Bit of a jungle. I'm going to start taking off as many of the peppers as I can that have started to blush and window ripen them, because I'm having huge amounts of slug issues. They are just chomping through anything that's even remotely ripe, so I'll have to take them off and ripen them at home. Still getting a few cucumbers, but by God, we're still trying to work through the last batch, so yeah, very busy. Peppers, these are bird's eyes, and these are, I think, these are paprika or jalapenos, I forget now. They're not jalapenos, maybe they're paprikas. Hold on, don't tell me in there. Oh, cayennes, these are cayenne ones, so the chilies are doing fantastically well. Again, these seem to be staying yellow, so I'm probably just going to take them off as yellow and process them as such. Yeah, other than that, sort of picking as much as we can as often as it becomes ripe. This is the other big potato bed. This one, you'll see, is completely unaffected by the blight. And again, this is because I sowed this with Sarpo Mira, which is incredibly blight resistant. Okay, that's not a bad haul. There's a couple of cucumbers in the bottom, but that's mostly sweet peppers of varying degrees of ripeness. They'll go on the windowsills to ripen off. They need to be eaten fresh or sliced and frozen, because the kids love them. Next step is the chilies. There we go. That's bird's eyes and cayennes. So reasonable haul. These will all be strung up and left to dry and be used in various things. Right, I think that's it for today. I will see you on the next one, folks.